Good morning to all of you, and thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to present our P7 Green Tower program to the esteemed jury. Before I go further into the details, I like to show you a small audio visual that gives a small brief of the whole program and what are the drivers and how it is developed and what kind of an innovation that has gone into making this program successful. We have realized in Bharti Infratel what are the important aspects of energy management. So we felt that there is a three-dimensional approach that is required in managing the energy piece for the tower companies. And the three dimensions are like reducing the load, which is very important because by reducing the load you will be able to achieve the maximum benefits which are more sustainable. And then the improving the energy efficiency, because that is the second aspect which we feel is most important when you address any energy management program. And third is use of alternative energy, because even if you have reduced the load to the best and increased the energy efficiency to the maximum, still there is a scope that is possible, which is basically using alternative energy systems. But these three dimensions alone will not be sufficient unless you have another fourth dimension, which in our case is like the sites are completely distributed across the geography, and we have close to 33,000 sites operating in 18 different states. So it is very important for us to monitor and control all these programs in every site, because every site is an energy center for us. And unless we do an effective monitoring and controlling of these initiatives, we will not be able to realize the benefits. So the fourth dimension that we have included in our program is monitoring and controlling of all these three aspects of energy management. And these are some of the benefits we perceive are possible through this energy management program that we wish to do. As you can see, there are a lot of benefits. One is of course the cost and the profitability, which is on the top of the slide. But apart from the cost and profitability, there are also other benefits, like you will be able to mitigate the risk in the longer run. You will be able to have a lesser carbon footprint. You also can increase the sustainability and competitiveness of the operations. So based on these two basic concepts, the aspects of energy management on a four-dimensional approach and the benefits that one can look forward to by doing such kind of sustainable energy management program, Bharti Infratel has come out with a Green Towers program called P7. The idea of P7 is basically it is a 7 innovative new energy initiatives which are different from the conventional operations that we have in our cell sites before this program. And these 7 initiatives are categorized into the 3 dimensions which we had discussed a little while back. That is on the green energy, demand side management, which is reducing the load, and energy efficiency, which is improving the energy efficiency and reducing the losses. And this particular P7 Green Tower program covers 75% of Infratel network footprint. I'll just take you briefly through these 7 initiatives to give you an idea on how it is innovative and how it is sustainable and how it is a green energy and energy efficiency program. One of the flagship projects that Infratel has undertaken as part of the P7 Green Towers is the solar DG hybrid solution. We always had the problem in India that the telecom network has actually outreached the electrification available in the rural villages. Because of that, what happens is that most of our rural sites operate with diesel as the backup power. So we always had this challenge of maintaining 24/7 network uptime, as well as at the same time the costs incurred in handling the diesel and maintaining on the DG sets is very high. So we have thought to go with alternate energy technologies for handling such kind of a cases. But the only problem again we had when we started with DG, the solar DG hybrid solution, is that the pure play solar, if I have to install one solar for the entire site, I require a huge capacity of solar plants, and it's completely unviable because of the huge costs. So we did an innovative solar solution where the DG also is there, but the run hours have been reduced considerably from 20 hours a day to 8 hours a day. So 12 hours we are able to save the DG run by using the solar plan. And today we have more than 6.5 megawatts of solar capacity installed in our network, and we are generating close to 10 million units of renewable energy in our networks thanks to the solar project. And this has reduced carbon emission to the tune of 37,000 tons per year. Then the other important flagship initiative that we are able to integrate is integrated power management system. Generally in a cell site, conventionally we have around 10 different items which handle various aspects of power. Like we had DC energy meters, we had DC distribution boards, we have SMPS rectifiers which converts AC power to DC power. Then we have auto mains switch which prioritizes the source between EB, DG and batteries. So like that we used to have different equipment, and then the connections flow between all these equipments. So what we have done with this product is to bring all those 10 items into one single unit. Thereby the whole wiring and everything is all completely done internally, and hence losses has been reduced considerably, and efficiency has increased from 90 to 96%. And apart from increasing the efficiency, we also built one innovative software logic into the whole system, wherein I can utilize the grid to the maximum possible extent. Earlier I used to have the grid availability at different times and different voltages, but with this product I can utilize even if it is 3-phase, single phase, 2-phase, and whatever voltage comes up to 90 volts. And this has also reduced close to 3.6 million liters of diesel per year, and also a carbon emissions of close to around 9,000 metric tons. Then we have one more important thing in telecom sites is cooling the equipment which gets heat. So conventionally we used to use air conditioners to cool this equipment, and we used to have 2 into 2 ton equipment cooling. So what we did at Infratel is that we found that in the year of 8,000 plus hours, there is only close to around 1,000 hours where we actually require a cooling solution, because the temperatures in summer and also in some parts of other seasons during the daytime are higher than 35 degrees centigrade. In India, most of the time, otherwise it is less than 35 degrees centigrade in the nights as well as in winters. So this solution basically takes advantage of this fact, and during the times when the ambient temperature is less, it simply opens up the natural air to flow inside the shelter with a provision to take out the heat properly, and switches off the air conditioner, and air conditioner runs only in the summer, and that too during the daytimes. And this is another very important step, because most of our sites, almost 60% of our sites are actually indoor sites which require air conditioning. So using this single solution, we are able to almost save 60% of our air conditioning power consumption. So this is something which is very important for reducing the load in the cell sites. Apart from, of course, there are other things which we have taken up to reduce the load, like using a new BTS technologies which actually consume very less load for a high capacity, unlike the old BTS technologies. Then we also have one more product. Wherever we will not be able to use, say, solar because of some limitations, the limitations goes like space is required for solar, and that space is required in the southern side of the site, and then it should be a shadow free space. So there are some technical limitations where solar cannot be used everywhere. So we have there gone ahead with a product called variable speed DC generator. Conventionally we used to use one fixed speed AC generator. The problem with fixed speed AC generator is that it fuel efficiency is always less during the lighter loads and is high at the higher loads. But our problem is telecom, when people talk during the day, busy hours like 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and in the evening around 6 to 8 o'clock, the load will be very high. And so design is based on the peak load. But during the other points in time, for example in the night, the load actually reduces drastically, and generators used to operate at a very low efficiency, unnecessarily consuming the higher fuel. So variable speed DC generator is something, one is our loads are all DC loads, so we can avoid the conversion of AC to DC and reduce the losses. Second is that the speed is adjusted as per the load, so that today we are able to maintain the same efficiency across various speeds and various loads. In the nights, the speed is reduced to 1000 RPM, and hence the fuel efficiency is still high. And during the daytime, during the peak hours, the speed is adjusted to 1500 rpm. And this is another new product which is very useful for us in doing the reduction in carbon footprint. So I have explained 3 of such products. Apart from this, the other 4 products, like for example, we also have tried fuel cells, hydrogen based fuel cells. But the only problem is we haven't scaled any of these fuel cells as of today. We have close to 15 units running, but we are running them for last almost 1.5 years. And we are happy with the technology and the performance, but today the hydrogen logistics are not yet available in the country the way we require them to operate 24/7 networks. So we are waiting for the time where the hydrogen logistics gets established, and then we will be able to use more fuel cells in future, because everything else is already done and we are ready with it. So if you look at it today, in BAL network, out of the 100% of the sites, 32% of the sites are already operating in our network on a P7 Green Tower program, either with free cooling or with integrated power management system, solar and variable speed DC-DC. And 40% more sites we have a plan to finish in next 2 years, this year and next year. And 28% of our sites do not actually require any such program, because we have a good grid available in those places. So the P7 key benefits, if you look at it, it reduces 58 million liters diesel per year once the entire 70% are completed. And it also reduces almost 160,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year once we complete this program. And it helps in achieving 23% energy cost reduction per year. And also, of course, thanks to these 3 improvements, it also improves our profitability, and we move to green telecom as well as improved customer satisfaction. Thank you very much.
Basic necessity after food, clothing and shelter. Let us see where the industry stands and what are the energy challenges being faced by infrastructure companies today. The telecom industry has also had a major impact on the economy. For every 10% increase in mobile penetration, the GDP of the country has increased by 1.2%. With around 800 million subscribers, 90% of the country's villages are now covered by improved telecom facilities. But there's a problem. It is estimated that 25% of average revenue per user goes towards energy costs for powering cell sites. Add to that the overdependence on a fuel like diesel to generate power, which not only costs 3 times the grid electricity, but also pollutes the environment and is prone to theft. Each telecom site requires anywhere between 0.75 to 20 kilowatts of electricity with an average consumption of 3 kilowatts. This means that the total energy requirement of the telecom industry is close to 8 billion units of energy, which will produce annual emissions of 6.8 million metric tons of carbon dioxide in the environment. Now what? Here is a solution. The Bharti Infratel B7 Green Towers initiative. This initiative consists of 7 high-impact steps taken by Infratel to reduce diesel consumption, decrease the carbon footprint, and increase their energy efficiency. With 32,000 sites operating across 18 states and serving major operators, Infratel is one of the leading pioneers in shared infrastructure. Each of these P7 initiatives is aimed to switch over 75% of Infratel's tower sites to clean and green energy. The program will also help reduce the carbon emissions of the industry by 160,000 metric tons, which is equal to planting over 700,000 trees in 1 year. By the end of the rollout, the program will save the company 23% in energy costs, reduce the annual diesel consumption by 58 million liters, and save $45 million in foreign exchange for the entire nation. P7 Green Towers is one of the largest such operations undertaken anywhere in the world by a telecom organization. The program has already proved its potential by bagging accolades at both national and international platforms. At Bharti Infratel, we believe that green business is clean business, and clean business makes good business sense for our customers and the community.
Thank you very much. Yes, Yes, in fact, each solar hybrid site, for example, gives us close to around 23 carbon credits per year on an estimated basis. But the entire P7 program gives much more than that. But the only problem is that this is a first of its kind, so there is no established process. So we applied for carbon credits, and we are at almost, I would say, 3/4 stage now. And once I think it should happen anytime, probably 6 to 7 months more. The question number one, these solutions are in fact, this program we started almost since last 3 years. We started sometime in 2009 end, and 2010 and 11 is where actually we implemented whatever we did 32% sites. This is the first time this kind of solutions have been developed in India first time, and they have been later being used now almost across the world in most of the places like Africa where it is applicable, and also in some of the places in Europe where free cooling is applicable. And they are not ready-made solutions available when we started this program. But today, yes, they are available because most of the vendors realize the benefits and importance of this. And so they have in fact developed the products which are suitable for this. We also did this innovation along with very key partners, 1 or 2 vendor partners who helped us in getting these programs running. And second, going forward, there is also a thought. Yeah, sure.
That's fine. I got your.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
My question is regarding the business case. Obviously, there are a lot of capital investments which needs to be done, and you mentioned 23% energy saving. So, what would be the payback period of a
Yeah,
site?
for example, a solar DG hybrid project, the investment in our model requires around 10 to 12 lakhs per site because it's a hybrid solution, and the payback will be around 3.5 years. But each program has its own payback. Free cooling actually pays back in 6 months. Yeah, out of 32,000 sites what we have, 10,500 sites it is operational, and another 13,000 sites is where we are supposed to do in this year and next year. And balance 10,000 sites we already have good grid, so we don't require most of these initiatives. Thank you very much.